Now, we will have a super long Alabama vlog.
It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight.
Hello, welcome to a little reset vlog after coming home from Alabama. Now, we will have a super long Alabama vlog coming out soonish, but obviously it would take much longer to edit. It will take much longer to edit than a little short thing like this will. So I think you're gonna see this one first. But you'll hear more about it in the long vlog, but we ended up getting back 2.5 days later than we planned. So I did clean a little bit before we left, as I tried to, but the way that we ended up leaving is that me and my parents, who were flying back to Alabama with us, took their rental car from our house to Portland for a hotel overnight before our flight, and Felix and our kiddo took the train because my parents only rented a small rental car and we had to fit all of our luggage in that car. Also on a train, our kiddo didn't have to be in his car seat, and he was already gonna have to be in the car seat the entire plane ride. I mean, we decided to do that, but we knew that that was what we were doing. So he got a little bit of travel time with no car seat, and he had never been on the train before, so that was really fun. All of that to say, because of that, Felix had like 6 hours with just Felix and the toddler and almost none of his favorite things because we had already packed them in the suitcases. So our living room, while I did clean it before we left, currently still has like a sensory activity kind of taking over it. And we need to unpack everything and then wash everything that's dirty. I did actually get to do a lot of laundry before we left, so a lot of these clothes actually are clean, which is great. But I'm going to use this already clean hallway as our like staging area to clean out the suitcases first. So here's the clean hallway. Admire it, enjoy it, and you actually can't even see all of it, so let me just move you down a little bit. Okay, this looks like a lot, and it is a lot, but like I said, most of these clothes are actually clean, which really works out in our favor. And I've got this bucket I'm gonna put clean clothes in. We're actually going to the cabin next week because I don't know, I was like, that won't be too much. And I don't think it will be, because most of the cabin is actually us just kind of relaxing and making food and hanging out with Hannah. But it is a lot packing wise, because I'm basically unpacking most of this and then repacking about a third of it. So, you know, that's just the way it is. So another good reason why I try to wash a lot of clothes on vacation and bring them back clean is because now it's less laundry I have to do. Not none, but less. I'm actually really hot and really tired. So I think I'm gonna let voiceover Morgan take this one.
What? I thought I was just editing. I don't want to talk. I'm so boring.
Yeah, because I'm really tired.
Oh, you're tired? You know, I have to stare at your face while I do this.
No, look at all the work I have to do. Please.
Okay, fine. Fine, but I'm definitely still putting in some music and time lapses.
Okay, let's do it.
Is it a little bit too theater kid of me to make the voiceover version of me a different character? I don't care. You know, it's my show. Anyway, welcome to another reset video. Look at this limited 2 shirt that we found in the kids section in Alabama when we were thrifting. I forgot how much I really love thrifting in my hometown because things are just so much cheaper. I don't think we bought a single item over $3. And I mean, we had a pretty packed schedule, so like we didn't thrift a ton, but still, it's just like such a stark difference. This is a jacket from literally the early 2000s that I found at my parents' house, along with the first t-shirt that I bought when I saw Wicked on tour in like, I don't know, the 8th grade. If you've been here a while, you might know that in the past, I haven't had much of a relationship with my parents, and recently we've been reconnecting. It is very new. It's not something that I plan to discuss a lot on here just because it's like private and personal, and it's, you know, my choice ultimately if I want to share and what I want to share. But just know that it's going well, and we had a really great time in Alabama, which honestly we often do because it is one of my favorite places in the world. I love that I got to grow up in Mobile. I love visiting. I love the food. I really love the people. I really love the Southern hospitality of it all. I love talking to strangers. I miss talking to strangers. It's just not something that you get or that you see out here in the Pacific Northwest, which is totally fine. It's just like a different place, and every place has its own like culture, but it is like really specifically comforting to me when I get to go home and get in an elevator with a stranger and be like, oh, hi, I'm Morgan. How are you? Because that is not something that people do out here. Absolutely shout out in the comments if you have a similar experience, whether it be from moving from the South to somewhere up north or from somewhere up north to the South. Anything that you find is different from your current place where you live and the culture that you grew up in? Does it make you like happy to then visit your hometown and see people doing whatever that thing is? I don't know. Let me know. And then also similarly, are there things you are so glad you don't have to do anymore? I know some people who move from like the South over to the Pacific Northwest or North in like New York or whatever are super happy to not have to say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. I never minded it. I think it's really cute. I love when I'm in Alabama and people call me ma'am. I think it's so cute. I'm like, yeah, I'm an adult. I'm like a grown person. Yay. Also, obviously, I love the food. I feel like that's what I talk about the most, especially when I'm talking on Patreon about going home or missing home. Something that is so hard to explain to people who only live, at least in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know if this is the case everywhere, but in the Pacific Northwest, they don't have like chicken finger places. So for instance, in my hometown of Mobile, Alabama, there's so many places that basically just sell different versions of chicken tenders. So like Fusakli's, Zaxby's, Raising Cane's, Bojangles, all of those places basically only have chicken tenders and they just serve it in like different ways. So like you can put it on a salad, you could put it on a sandwich, you can put queso and bacon on it. And that is just not, it's not a thing here. There used to be Raising Cane's in Portland. I don't know if it's still there, but it's such a pain to get to. I've only been once because it was in like a mall. And so you had to go to the mall and then park in like a parking garage and then walk around the mall to find it. So anyway, had a lot of chicken while I was there. Obviously, it's really nice that there's sweet tea in every restaurant. Yeah, there's so many things that I love about it. I'm so excited to raise my kiddo where he gets to visit this place that means so much to me. But I am also glad that we live in Salem because I love where we live now. I love it so much. By the way, happy Pride Month, everyone. How's your Pride Month going? I know this has been a tough one. This has been a tough one for many people for many reasons, but there are still people making Pride merch. In fact, the headband that I'm wearing is from the artist Colette Pride collection. We actually have an affiliate link with them if you're interested in getting anything from the Pride collection before the end of the month. I'm wearing a headband. I love it so much. I've used it a lot. I got 2 headbands and a claw clip, and then Felix got a hat and a badge reel. Love artist Colette. They're incredible. They're a great artist. And a portion of the proceeds from the entire collection is actually going to go to a bunch of different queer charities. The one that we picked in particular is called Prism United, and it helps LGBTQIA+ youth in Mobile, Alabama. So if you were thinking of getting something, we don't normally do affiliate links, but it is really nice that a portion of the money spent is going to help a charity that really means a lot to me. And then also a portion goes into our pocket, and then also a portion goes to the artist Colette. So sorry to, give you guys a little ad in the middle. It's not really an ad. They didn't pay us, but I really want the collection to do well, and I would love for you guys to have a piece of it. Ignore all the noises that are happening. I'm heating up water for tea. Fridge is being loud. Power went out twice while we were out of town, and some amalgamation of things that happened and caused that created this problem for us today. Bunch of stuff is literally still not frozen. We found out this morning that the freezer has been open the whole time we were gone. These 2 things we actually just bought, so those are safe, but everything else just bought as in an hour ago. Everything else has to get thrown out. So, but it could use a good cleaning anyway, so it's fine. And also a lot of this was kind of oldish, a lot of it's leftovers, so it could be much worse.
Okay, everything is unpacked. All of the dirty clothes are washed and put away. The kitchen is like fully clean. Like the whole counter is free. There are some dishes in the dishwasher that you can maybe hear from breakfast this morning, dinner last night. But otherwise, it's clean, which is great because we actually had to reschedule our kiddo's birthday party. If you're on our close friend story because of Patreon, or if you just kind of follow our Instagram stories in general, maybe you already knew that. But today is Thursday and our rescheduled birthday party is actually on Saturday. So that was the other reason that I was like, I basically need to do a reset as soon as we get home, especially once our flights were canceled and pushed out 2.5 days. So I am really glad we did this together. Once again, having you guys come along with me is just the best way to make sure I actually get something done, which is why we're always cleaning together and we're always finishing works in progress that I haven't finished together. You know, you guys are like you're like my little friends that live in my phone that encourage me, and I hope that that's what I am to you. That's all that I could ever hope. Every part of like our main house is clean. Our bedroom isn't, but that's something I'm gonna tackle on another day. Maybe with you, maybe without you, I'm not sure. Even the bathroom is clean actually, which is great because again, we're having a bunch of people over on Saturday. Okay, so that's great, that's exciting. While I have you guys here, should we do a little work in progress update, or maybe upcoming projects? I think the very next thing that I'll be making is, I'm between two things that aren't garments, which is hard because actually for Mother's Day, my parents got me the present of buying a good bit of fabric from a couple of different places where I had been eyeing fabric. So I am very excited to use that fabric. However, I need to do some things for other people first. I can't just constantly be making stuff for myself, even though that sounds really great. But I have a lot of upcoming sewing time credits with my birthday next month, so I'm not stressed. I think very next, I'm gonna make my son this tulip hat. The pattern came out not long ago, and at the Fluid Plus Drape warehouse sale, I actually bought a really thick yellow, like almost canvasy cotton fabric that I think would be perfect for this. Then he could have a little yellow tulip hat. Perfect for the summer. Also, he can never have too many hats. He's a very pale baby. Anything I can do to protect his little face is a win. I also think if it goes well, I have a couple of different fabrics that are similar weight to this that I could then make all of his little friends tulip hats, and then they could go on an adventure in their tulip hats. You know what I mean? If I don't make that immediately next, in the next month, I'm also making this really cute daisy bag that was actually sent to me by a Sweet Pea. I'm very excited to make it. I'm nervous because it's the first time someone has ever directly been the pattern maker and been like, do you want to make this? I'll send it to you. I can't say that if anyone else is thinking about doing that, I would necessarily say yes, at least like anytime soon, just because I have so many works in progress in my mind already. I guess they're not in progress, works in progress already that I don't want to commit to anything else. But when they sent this to me, I was like, this is actually kind of like a perfect bag that I think I would be able to hold knitting stuff in, and I'm hoping in July. I actually need to message my friend Julia, who is actually also a YouTuber. She's just started her YouTube journey. If you want to go check her out, she's lovely. I'm obsessed with her. I think Julia and I are gonna have like a craft day, and she's gonna take some time with me to learn some knitting basics because I've always wanted to learn. And I think we all are trying to maybe spend less time on our phones in the summer, and knitting seems like something that I can do while I'm like watching a movie with my toddler. We don't have like a ton of screen time with him, but when we do, I find myself constantly just picking up my phone, and I don't want to do that. I want to be like working on something, but I can't be like sewing because I have to be with my sewing machine by like the iron and all that stuff. So I think knitting would like really fill a void for me. Anyway, I think this daisy bag would be perfect for that. That's my hope. That's my dream. So I think one of those two things is what I'm gonna make immediately next. And then I don't know, I have so many things I'm so excited to make. But again, I have a lot of time planned for sewing. After we get through this next little bit, we got back late from Alabama, and then actually we're about to go to the cabin with our friend Hannah. If you've been watching for a while, I'm sure you've seen us go on a couple of cabin trips by now. It's really great because all we really pay for is like the gas to get there and then groceries when we get there.
And then we just all like hang out and like watch TV or like go on walks or walk down to the beach. And it's like kind of a very low cost vacation for us because Hannah's family owns it. And then we're actually going to Felix's family's cabin halfway through July. We're gonna go to the Sisters Quilt Show, which I've never been, but I've obviously gotten much more into sewing, and like I'm making my first quilt right now. I don't know how into like the quilting universe I will personally get in my lifetime, because right now I'm really enjoying making garments and making like gifts for other people. But I think of quilting as like such a great art medium. I really want to make like a lot of little like tiny wall hangings. I'm debating doing like an art show of tiny quilt wall hangings. That's like way further down the line though. Anyway, all that to say, I'm really excited to see other people's quilts and be inspired and spend time with my family. So those are all the things going on soon. If you want to know more behind the scenes stuff, maybe stuff that we don't necessarily want to share with the greater internet, we would love for you to join us over on Patreon. We actually normally post at least like twice a month these kind of longer chatty videos, and then we try to post pretty often our short form stuff before it's edited kind of, so it's like the long form of a short form. So for example, anything like me talking about pickleball and how I think it's kind of silly, or the Cabela's discussion with Felix, all of those things we'll kind of post to Patreon unedited, and then you get like the full 10 minutes that eventually got edited down to like a minute and a half. And then we'll also post just kind of other behind the scenes things. As soon as we get an ad, we usually talk about it on Patreon. As soon as we hear maybe like a little bit of gossip in our personal lives, you know, we could possibly share with like a smaller version of our community. It just depends. We'd love to have you over there. But if you're here on YouTube, that is plenty, and that is wonderful, and I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for helping me. Oh my God, you guys were amazing helpers. Great helping today. Really excited for the content that we're going to be sharing with you guys in the next month or so. Lots of exciting things happening. They are a welcome distraction with the state of the world. But as always, please stay vigilant, drink some water, and reach out and figure out how you can help your neighbors, okay? The world is so scary, but you are so lovely, and I'm so glad that you're here. Be kind to yourself this week, okay? I love you guys. Goodbye. Mwah.